absolutely.
Yeah, but he's the visionary. He's the one that makes
Yeah.
the contacts. He talks to the world officials, and he talks to people that are going to be part of the whole system for their countries.
Right.
Now, XRP, its purpose is global liquidity. Period. XLM, it's going to be in charge of just the day-to-day transactions that are taking place, the relationships that need to happen. They're going to keep the money flowing in the economy.
Mm-hmm.
But their role isn't to be a liquidity provider, to provide the insurance for the entire financial global market.
Mm-hmm.
They can't.
Right.
Because then they would not be doing what they're supposed to do.
Right.
And there's no buyback of XLM because of its role. But as we know, we can't hold XRP. There isn't going to be any staking going into the future.
Right.
There's going to be a nominal amount of interest for a short period of time, and that's because we're going to be receiving money over 11 years for all the taxes and the interest and everything else. And XRP just gets to be what it's supposed to be. It's like a dad.
Right. Exactly.
He just gets to be the dad. But mom does all the mom stuff. And probably, does a lot more than he does.
Yeah.
But dad still is important, and he has a place, and he stays in his lane.
Totally.
And that's the thing I like about XRP.
But before we get started, folks, make sure you hit the pause button. Okay, go down below. There's a Rumble link. Go over to Rumble and follow us over there. QFS1776.com is, without question, the holy grail of what's to come. Okay, T-shirts. You got to get yourself decorated. This way people will ask you, what is XRP? What is the quantum financial system? What is this? What is that? And you send them where? To QFS1776.com, where they need to immerse themselves, because we're going to burn down this system down to the ground. And out of the ashes will rise the phoenix. There'll be nothing to go back to. Believe me when I tell you that. Unified TV will take over Netflix. We're bringing in the next genre of movie producers and storytellers and actors and actresses. And we're telling the story of how the world is going to be on earth as it is in heaven. Jasara Nasara is coming. Don't make no mistake about it. Gold and silver right down below. Promo code Mel Carmine. Make sure you use the promo code. Almost $8 billion in sales. We're direct to like a bunch of mints. We are the ones that can get you the gold and silver directly to your door, okay, at the cheapest price. Don't even waste your time looking for a cheaper price. It doesn't exist. Also, our Telegram groups down below. If you want to learn what's coming and you're sort of a little scared, I understand. Believe me, I was there too at one point. Our Patriots are literally waiting for you in the room. And if you need more than $10,000 worth of XRP or $1 million worth of XRP, you come see me. Send me an email at QFS1776@gmail, and we'll get you as much as you want. Well, good evening, folks. It just so turns out that today I made a phone call, and I'm calling Dr. Kia Pruitt. And I said, I got to call Lion. She goes, I'm on the phone with him right now. And all of a sudden we start talking. I said, guys, stop talking right now. We're losing all this great content. Why don't I just send you guys a Zoom link and let's get it on video? So that's how this call actually evolved. We got the great Dr. Kia Pruitt, who is an authority on the dinars and the Zims and the Bolivars and all that stuff. And we got a guy that talks to God, and I happen to believe him. He's my good friend, the Lion. I was privileged to be the one to let him out of the cage. God said, hey, go see the guy with the big chair. Go see the pizza guy. He'll let you out of the cage, okay? We came, we did it, and he's just blowing up everywhere. I said, guys, stop. This is great content. Let's get on videotape. Here we are. Guys, welcome. It's exactly 17 minutes after 7 here in Costa Rica. You know exactly what team we're on, that special letter in the alphabet. And yeah, we're kicking your ass, Cabal. We're not letting down. Guys, welcome. I want to give the floor to Dave. Dave, you were saying some interesting things that you just like, man, you always shock the hell out of me with some of the things you say. And I believe a lot of these things are going to come to pass. You're either going to be like the biggest fool or you're going to be like the biggest hero, and everybody's going to have like a statue of you on their front lawn.
Well, and the word does say that God uses the foolish to confound the wise.
Exactly.
So if I need to look foolish, that's okay. It's okay because everything he said, going back to April 3rd of 2021, it's all come to pass. Every single thing. And now, matter of fact, it was very, very interesting. I'm on the phone with Susan earlier today, and I had mentioned when I was on Charlie's show that we were a breath away, right? And then last night, well, actually, I slept, I was up all night working, but I said, Lord, are we still that breath away? And he said, it's a whisper now, a whisper away. We're that close, everybody. We're that close. And over the last couple of days, a lot of the things that I've talked about with regards to the quantum financial system coming from another civilization, not having been made here, those confirmations came out yesterday. And they describe it. They call it a megalithic structure. It can handle every single transaction in the world in real time. Now, Mel, with that alone, we now operate at 100 quadrillion transactions per second, speed of light, because there's no limit on the QFS. Those limits are here right now. That's why I can only do 1,500 transactions per second. We're going quantum, 10 to the 17th power minimum, because they point out there's no limit. Everybody's going to have an account. We're going to be able to upload our photos and pictures and music. And Dr. Pruitt and I were talking. I'm sure there's going to be a profanity filter.
That was a concern. That was really a concern of mine. Thank you for answering that. Yes.
Yeah. And they note that the system is monitored, that it can go right into your account and take a look that fast. And if there's anything there that shouldn't be there, it won't be there next time you go look. It'll be gone. It'll be removed. And that, that just makes sense with every place we're going. But, that's how this started. I was on the phone with Dr. Pruitt and we were talking about that. And then Mel must have heard us talking about it. And he then called and here we are. So I didn't even have time to shave. So this is raw. This is like live, real time.
Yeah.
We didn't wait a half an hour and let everybody get pretty. So this is what you get. And I know it's enough. Mel's always immaculate, so you don't have to worry about that. He's got the studio. He's got the studio.
Well, so that's why I steal Amber's all of her makeup and all of her skincare.
Well, you look great. You look great.
He really does. Very youthful. Yeah.
Not bad. I'm going to be 60 years old. I don't see 60 when I look in the mirror.
Are you serious?
I'm going to be 60, man. September 9th. I'm going to be 60, but I don't see 60. I see like 39, 40.
Amazing.
60 is the new 40.
Well, when I get done with it, 60 is going to be the new 16.
I don't know if you want to go that far back and lose your frontal lobe, but
no, I don't want to lose any of my wisdom. But we got the machines. Dr. Sandra's machines are very real machines, and it's exciting stuff. I'm opening up in Chula Vista. Your dad was a big deal over there in the police department, etc. And I want you to actually come down and bring me to the police department and introduce me to those guys.
Well, that's what we're scheduling. So
that's awesome. You come down with Barry.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
And I guess we're going to Las Vegas too.
Yeah, May 5th and 6th, correct?
Yeah.
So
wonderful.
Yeah, I'm excited. Wonderful. Yeah.
Well, I'm excited because I think now it's time to, meet a few people and kind of interact with the group and be there to, answer questions.
I agree.
Because I believe by the time we get there, we're going to have a whole lot more understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, so you got a whole different picture, Lion, how big this is going to be. I know that I like the way Kia brings out the XR, rather the Zims and the Dinars and all that stuff, because she actually goes to news articles that are very exciting, and it proves that something of major magnitude, that the tectonic, the tectonic plates of the financial world are shifting and moving like never before. And she brings that to the table in spades. But I like the fact that she doesn't say it's going to happen tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Okay.
Because I have no idea.
And see, one of the things that he just showed me, and I got confirmation on this, they talk about operating in the fifth dimension. Now that's time that moves forward and backward. So, you try to pin a date down, you can't do it. But it's Adam, the AI computer, that's assessing everything that's taking place, and will then let them know now. It's a go word. But Arizona is the last stop. That's where we see everything sealed. And we just wait. We wait for the emergency broadcasting system. We wait for the postcard, or not the postcard, the email, the text. And they're saying whatever electronic device you have, you're going to get a message on it. So
do we go to zero?
What goes to what be more specific?
Do we go
Wall
to
Street?
zero?
Well, yeah, we
Stock
go to zero.
market.
Well, think of it this way.
Yeah.
When the lights go out, everything's at zero.
Does that mean XRP goes down to zero as well?
Well, everything's going to go to zero theoretically, right? Because there's no platform open.
But
Nothing's operating.
can you buy
No,
XRP
no.
when it goes to zero? So
Yeah.
I want to buy it at zero.
No. And I'll tell you this, some of the activity we've seen in the past where you get that big tail that goes down, it's called tail. Even if you had an order in place, you never would have been filled. It was already pre-allocated. It was pre-allocated. Wall Street's been doing that for years.
Wow.
And then people complain, well, wait a minute, why didn't my market order get filled? Well, because they just had to post it to get the print, but you were never going to be allowed to buy it. And if you notice, that's when Uphold goes down. That's where Coinbase would go down. You couldn't get into your account, and people were pretty upset about that. And then it kind of ran catch up, and then you were getting the old prices, and it was already gone back up.
Okay, so if you
were
had to
chasing a
give,
ghost.
if you had to give any advice, Lion, to anybody who's got millions of dollars in the stock market, and I'm talking to somebody specifically out there, a friend of mine. I won't mention their name. You won't even know whether it's a he or she. Okay. If there's somebody I know personally that's got millions of dollars sitting in the stock market right now, and I said, right now, if I was you, I would be investing in diapers. I'd be crapping all over myself if I got that kind of dough. And I said, take the money and put it all into the ISO. She says, I don't want to put it all in the XRP, XLM, XDC. Do you have any other choices? So I gave her a list of all the ISOs. I said, stick to these, you're fine.
Well, this is what I'm aware of. When the lights go out, everything shuts down. You won't be able to buy or sell. You're going to have a position in whatever you hold. The question then is, when we power back up on Starlink, what's actually going to boot up? What's going to be allowed to boot up? New York Stock Exchange has already been identified. It's being taken. It's going to be repurposed, and it's going to have a new name and a new look and a new platform. So anything that you used in the past is not going to work on the quantum. So imagine the delays just getting that out, software, things like that.
So do they give this person the right advice to take her money out of the stock market and spread it across the ISOs?
Well, from my perspective, and I'm not giving financial advice, I would imagine that you would want your money where, sorry about that. Let me turn that off. You want your money where it has the highest potential to come back.
Correct.
Now, money in a brokerage account, let's say you had a great year and you've cashed out and you're sitting in cash. If it's in the brokerage account, when they pull the plug, it's gone. Gone.
Don't leave it in any brokerage account then.
No, you need it in a bank. And then you need to make sure that you have it allocated and split so you're not going over the FDIC limits. So let's say you had $1 million and you move it over to your Wells Fargo account. You need to make sure it's in enough accounts that it doesn't go over the FDIC. If you're single, then it's 250. If you're married, it's 500. And then if you have beneficiaries like grandkids and things like this, you can actually add them on the account and you get an extra 250 for them, even though they don't have access to the account. So that's kind of a way the bankers figured out how to up the FDIC loans. But when it comes to securities, we don't know what's going to survive yet. Some will be repurposed, but most of them are going to be gone.
Will the ISOs all survive? Yes or no?
How many are in the
Seven.
Which ones are those?
Let me see if I can pull them up for you. I did send their message earlier. Let me see here.
While you're checking, may I ask a quick question, Mel?
Sure.
He talked about the lights. Dave, you talked about the lights going out. Will the lights literally go out?
The power will be
The power will. Okay.
Just for a short period of time.
That's what I wondered. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we're not going to go into a phase where we don't have no power.
Okay. Okay.
And I need to correct that statement because that was lazy. We will not have power for a short period of time.
Short period of time could be what, 10 days, 5 days?
Depends on location. LA, New York City, 10 days.
How about Costa Rica?
Might be a couple days at most.
No light?
The lights go out here.
No. I mean,
yeah,
the whole time period, right?
Yeah, got it.
You'll still be able to get out and do things after a couple days.
Okay,
right.
Great.
Because there'll still be a few people.
The ISOs: Quant, Ripple, XRP, okay, Stellar, XLM, Hedera, HBAR, IOTA, okay, XDC, and Algorand. Those are the ISOs.
Yeah, those all sound fine. Yep.
I think those will survive, correct? Look, when I got into
I would say they'll survive. Yeah. And there are probably going to be a few extras.
Yeah.
Because we talked about maybe as many as 24, but then those are going to get parsed down very fast.
I think ones like VeChain might survive. I think Casino Coin will survive because it's a carbon copy of XRP. Okay. When we look at the 17, the 17th letter in the alphabet, when I put this whole thing together, and I told my wife that I want to connect everything, the quantum financial system, the quantum computers, the low-lying satellites, 45, the 17th letter in the alphabet, everything. She said I was nuts. But then what does 17 say? Watch the water.
Water.
Right? Watch the water. Ripple. Does that have to do something with water? I think so.
Yes.
Who claimed water? Who claimed the water?
How about the swell conference? Doesn't the water swell? Swell, right? How about XRP is here to solve the liquidity crisis? Does that have anything to do with water? We're sitting on a powder keg.
And David Schwartz posted the only element left out of fire, water, etc. was water. And he said, XRP claims the water. So then I went and sat down with the father and I said, wait a minute, let's take a look at this. Who has the earth? Amazon has the fire. I think it was Google had the earth. Because, Google Earth. And water is 71% of the mass of the earth. So water is greater than earth. Water puts out fire. Water's greater than fire. And then when it comes to wind, water is impervious to wind. So the water is the winner. It's the superior element over everything. And then you have Brad Garlinghouse mentioning XRP will be bigger than Amazon. And of course, we know that reference isn't about Amazon being Amazon. It's about we're going to operate off the Starlink, which works at the speed of light. And that was confirmed in the intel. So
How big is it going to get is the only question.
oh, well, it's going to go. I just finished up my my valuation model present to the committee. So that all the models are done. And now they're going to go into the white paper write-up. And that's going to be nice because there's going to be.
Does Jim Valley think your brain is working on all cylinders?
He's never told me it wasn't.
You know, I tell you what, this is perhaps the most entertaining financial system calamity in the history of the world. I mean, for the people that are sitting around and watching this whole thing go down, and we know exactly what it is. I tell you what, I don't know if you know who Ron Partain is, but Ron Partain has recently been on Nino Rodriguez, not once, but twice. And we put one of his videos in our Quantum Financial Systems manual at QFS 1776. I'm going to ask my wife to put the second one. I don't agree with him on the Bitcoin part of it, but on the Ripple XRP, he's got it down in, I'm talking third, fourth grade level of education. The average Joe can understand what this is, how big it's going to be, etc. And, you know, he said it clearly.
That right there. That right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Sixth grade math.
27,000 tokens, and one has got the lawsuit. That's the one you need to pay attention to.
Well, and remember, the lawsuit's really a protective order. It's to make sure that nothing happens to XRP and to provide the time to get onto the quantum system.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't built to run on crappy internet.
Is there any way that XLM outbeats XRP? There's a few people starting to talk that jargon out there. I had to
Well,
come
think of it
to
this
my
way.
room.
Think of it this way. Okay.
Yeah.
Every corporation has a CEO.
Right.
Brad Garlinghouse.
Yeah.
Is he doing the day-to-day work to keep Ripple moving and operating and everything else?
Absolutely.
No.
Well, I'm saying there's still meetings going on. He's still
But
getting
see,
invited
that's
to fake
the
meetings,
part that a CEO gets to do.
and they're still hiring people to develop things, etc. In that respect,
Right.
yes, it's still moving.
Right. He doesn't worry if the accounting's done. He doesn't worry if the bills are paid.
Oh yeah.
No, he's at that high level.
Right. Well, there's a bunch of people they gotta, fit their piece of the puzzle. Absolutely.
Yeah, but he's the visionary. He's the one that makes the contacts. He talks to the world officials, and he talks to people that are going to be part of the whole system for their countries. Right. Now, XRP, its purpose is global liquidity. Period. XLM, it's going to be in charge of just the day-to-day transactions that are taking place, the relationships that need to happen. They're going to keep the money flowing in the economy. Mm-hmm. But their role isn't to be a liquidity provider, to provide the insurance for the entire financial global market. Mm-hmm. They can't. Right. Because then they would not be doing what they're supposed to do. Right. And there's no buyback of XLM because of its role. But as we know, we can't hold XRP. There isn't going to be any staking going into the future. Right. There's going to be a nominal amount of interest for a short period of time, and that's because we're going to be receiving money over 11 years for all the taxes and the interest and everything else. And XRP just gets to be what it's supposed to be. It's like a dad. Right, exactly. He just gets to be the dad. But mom does all the mom stuff. And probably, does a lot more than he does. Yeah. But dad still is important, and he has a place, and he stays in his lane. Totally. And that's the thing I like about XRP.
Mhm.
It's not trying to be everything for everybody. It just needs to be the one that says, we got it covered from a liquidity standpoint, and we know how much liquidity we need to get us out to 2030, 2035,
Yeah.
2040. Because these growth rates are going to be incredible with this kind of money coming into the economy. And
Sure.
one thing that I want to point out too is there's been a comment that we're going to go back to 1955 prices.
Talk to us about that, please.
Yeah, let me help bridge that gap. The comment is being mistaken to think that prices are going to go down, and they're not. The comment is related to the buying power of money. So back in 1955, a dollar was a dollar. Prior to that, it was less. Now, all of a sudden, everybody has 20 million, 40 million, 100 million. There's going to be an increase in some prices on things. But when you look at the overall amount of money in the system, it's as if we were back in 1955.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. But
It
yeah, I
does.
can't see a $67 million penthouse in Miami that's 49,000 square feet, and the
No.
top two floors of these
No.
buildings go down to 20 million dollars.
No. See, the disparity was prices were going up because of inflation. Prices were going up because of the money that they were making in the stock market. Wages didn't follow.
Mhm.
So now you had people that were, making $60,000 a year, but a home wasn't $100,000 being comparable.
Mhm.
It's 400,000, $500,000. Now, when we get there, we may allot a certain amount of money, right, for houses and things like that. And that house that was $1 million before the active date is going to go to 2-3 million. But we're not going to care because we got a multiple that's so far above that
Mm.
that it's like we were using $1955. So that kind of clears that up
Yeah, it does.
because prices are going to go up, wages are going to go up, companies are going to have more sales for maybe a year to 2 years.
So based on the amount of money that people have, based on what things are going to cost, it's going to feel
Exactly.
like it's 1957, but it's not 1957. It's still 2024 or 2023.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Yep.
So you're still going to pay $68 million for the penthouse in the sky.
No, we're probably going to pay 100.
Yeah. But because you're worth $82 billion,
Right.
Mm.
Who
yeah,
cares?
who cares? Right.
Right.
It's like,
right.
okay, here's the tip. I'll make it
Right.
$83 million. Here's the tip.
Exactly.
You know?
And a lot of
Right.
those costs are going to be taken out.
Mm.
So you may not be paying 6%, if you're trying to sell something, you may not be paying 6% per broker.
Gotcha. So XLM, to the best of anyone's here recollections, I know I would have seen it because I live in this movie theater 17 hours a day. Okay. And I haven't seen it. Has XLM have ever been invited to a Davos meeting, a G20, a G30, a Central Bank of England meeting, a Central Bank of Europe meeting, a Central Bank of Canada meeting, a Central Bank of Brazil meeting? I've never seen them go to any of these meetings. Have you guys?
Well, when I was asked that question myself, I couldn't recall anybody saying, "Oh, such and such is going to be at Davos and they're with XLM." And when you looked at the room, it was like, who's sitting at the table
Right, Darling House.
at all those meetings, right? No, they don't need to go down to that level.
Right.
And that's not a put down. So
No, I'm not putting them down because I own XLM. I like XLM. I think
I do too.
XLM is going to play a major role, and I would love for them to be invited to a Davos meeting because that would cement my belief system tenfold, 100-fold, saying, "Oh, XLM is at the meeting too, guys," and I would be because I'm the loudest talking, bullhorn, walking, talking billboard out there. I'd be more than happy to because I'm obnoxious when it comes to this stuff. You know what I mean? I'll yell it at the top of my lungs from the tallest mountain. Everybody's going to hear it.
Dr. Pruitt,
Yes.
tell us how you feel about that.
You know, I'm new in this space. I've just been following Mel and I trust Mel's authority and research on it. And at the same time, I trust the spiritual component that you bring to it, how God talks to you about it. So I'm new in this space, and I kind of yield to the both of you talk when you talk about XLM and XRP. But I can tell you that when I was at a time when I didn't believe in any of it because I didn't understand it, I had a dream. And in a dream, and I consider myself a spiritual person. I can't say necessarily I'm religious, but in the dream, I actually saw what I interpreted as the finger of God write it out for me, XRP. And I heard his voice whisper to me and in the dream as I was waking up. And I felt the quickening power of the spirit. I don't mean to, make this a spiritual thing, but that's what my experience was. And it was confirmation for me that it was something that I needed to strongly consider. Because again, I didn't believe in it at all. I didn't understand. It makes sense. Yeah.
Well, and I know you would confirm this, Mel. How many people do you talk to about XRP and they say, I just knew it. I looked at it. It's like I got confirmation when I saw it. I didn't have to go, learn about decentralized networks. I mean, I wasn't going to go down that route. God said, this is it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, I go get my car wash, and I met this guy. He's got a car wash in town called Florida Car Wash. I said, are you from Florida? He goes, yes. He goes, I can't wait to get back. I said, me too. So we start talking. He starts talking about Bitcoin. I'm a podcaster, so I don't believe in Bitcoin. I believe in XRP. I give him my videos. So now that guy went out and bought like $1,000 worth of XRP. So I talk to everybody. I want all the little people. I have a sickness. My sickness is I want all the little people to win.
Well, it's because you have a good heart.
That's right.
You have a heart of gratitude, and you want people to win too.
Yeah.
And that's the other side of the coin right now, is we've got this window of time. We don't know how long it is, days and weeks.
Yeah, it's not going to be too long, I don't think. But we have to bring everybody to, I believe, a come to Jesus moment. I really believe that.
Absolutely.
Well, and this is what's important. This is what the Lord brought up, because I fell victim to it. And that is the devil's done, canceled contract. He's out. Okay. So he's not interfering, but there's still some minions, and they're bringing offense. So we can pick up resentment. We can be upset over the smallest thing. But the Lord told me, he said, offense is what separates us from God, because we're not loving people. And he said, you can have your name in the book of life, but you may not qualify to go through that door. If that is the smallest amount that could keep us away from this restoration and this blessing, I told the Lord, I said, whatever I got to do. I was repenting. I was like, I don't want this in my heart. I don't want to have anything when I am walking from the car to that door that I'm holding on to. That's upsetting, that I haven't forgiven somebody for, or I haven't covered it with love. And what he said is, get the message out that everybody needs to forgive everybody for everything. Don't let that guy cut you off and then you do the hand signal, or you say the 4-letter expletive for get out of my way, or boy, you're so intelligent. We have to put that down. We just got to let it go. And that's what he said. It's going to come from family. It's going to come from friends, brothers to sisters, sisters to brothers, moms and dads. And he told me, he says, I had to have you experience it first, so you would know the importance of this message. And man, I tell you what, it was like getting stabbed in the heart, because I knew I picked up offense. But that's always been the devil's tactic. But what do we know? When we know the tactic, right? We can
Yes.
be prepared. So when it shows its ugly head, we just cover it with love. Because it's not about being right. This is not the time to fight to be right. We have to fight to be pure, to be loving. And however long it takes, we can do it. We can do it because we're his. He's our daddy. And we want him to release that blessing for our life.
May I ask you a question, Dave?
Yeah.
What's the correlation between having a pure heart and going into a new quantum financial system?